Hello, Instagram. Excited to be here. Waiting for my friend and colleague, Jackie Saborn, who's featured on the Successful Woman's Guide to Love. And we're just gonna chat with you really quick. So, about intimate conversations and the power of having them, especially early on. You guys aren't going to want to miss our conversation. Okay. I'm adding her now.
Hello, hello.
Yay, it worked. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Sparkly. Look at how sparkly you are. How pretty. I love that filter.
Today. I'm on the sparkly filter.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So good to see you. Are you turning on your sparkly filter too? Hi. I feel like, we may have some. Oh no, she had to leave. She'll be right back. You know how it is. Technical stuff happening. Okay. Technical. Okay. We're going to do it again. Thank you guys for your patience.
Okay, I'm back. I will not
Yay!
touch. I won't touch anything. Somehow I got booted out. But thank you, Cindy. This is so fun to kind of kick off our week with your awesome summit and doing this live with you. I'm totally feeling the vibes.
I know. The vibes are happening, and the sparklies are too.
I know. I couldn't figure it out in time, so I'll do it next time, though.
Yeah, for sure. And you're featured today. So
I know.
What better way to kick off the week to have Jackie featured? And we had such a powerful conversation about it was so good.
I'm really excited about watching all of the interviews. They're all going to be so fabulous. And I know they're so inspirational for women, especially with now that we're moving into fall and the holidays are coming. And
the holidays are coming.
It really stirs up a lot of, emotion and sensitivity and all that.
It does. And it's also a really good time to date and bring in love. I mean, the summer's over. So now I always feel like fall is such a grounding time anyway.
It is.
Yeah. So
it's like less distractions, getting back to your goals, your burning desires to find love. And I love fall as well. I love the fall fashion and just planning on cuddling up with your guy this year.
I always think about you and fashion because, well, we'll talk about it another time, but because you always look so great and fashionable.
Thank you.
Anyway.
So let's talk about intimacy.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's talk about, some of the highlights from our conversation and why it's so powerful to have intimate conversations right away. I think we can easily, want to glaze over them or not realize that we're not actually being intimate within our conversations.
Right. And I think that it's really important to show up with a lot of courage when you're dating. And I know it's hard because it is so intimate. We have to share so much of ourselves so quickly, but that's actually the key, is to sharing as much as you can that's appropriate, of course, in the first conversation you have, because that's how you create a connection. Intimacy creates connection. So for example, it's like talking about things that really matter to you. First, you have that little chit chat to kind of get comfortable, break the ice a little, saying a couple silly things like, how's your day going? And things that you think, oh, that sounds so stupid. But then diving right into talking about things that are more meaningful to you. Like, for example, if I was going to go on a date, I'm going to see my mother. I haven't seen her in 3 years. So I would say, well, I have some kind of fun news to share. I'm going to see my mother. I haven't seen her in 3 years. I'm really looking forward to that. She's getting older, and we're losing people here and there,
Mhm.
and I'm just really thrilled on my heart to see me. So what I'm sharing is that I'm just sharing something real that's happening for me. It's totally appropriate so that he can feel that, like that emotion. Plus, I'm family oriented. So what that tells about me is that I'm family oriented. I'm close to my mother. So I'm
Yeah.
actually getting a lot of information about who I am and where I am in my life by sharing something real that's appropriate. And then that would maybe open up for him to say, I haven't seen my parents in a while. Then we could start talking about his relationship with his mother, his father, his family. And so
Right.
just because I had something, I could share that. So I think it's really important to remember to share parts of our lives, because that's what creates a connection. That's what we're looking for, something that's relevant, that we can both have something in common. Once you find that commonality, the conversation just becomes effortless.
Right, right. It's so true. And I think a lot of times we overcomplicate it. When we talk about intimacy and intimate conversations,
Yeah.
it can feel like, oh my gosh, what do I say? How do I say
Yeah.
it? But just think about something that's going on in your life, something that you're excited about, something that you can open up about
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just simply share, which will lead to conversations, or even,
Right.
even intimacy can be shared in stories too. Like, oh,
Stories are really
you have,
powerful.
I'm sure that you have a favorite childhood story.
Yeah.
What is that? Do you have siblings or not? Like, it's so easy to do that from that vantage point.
Right.
Then it just opens up the door for so many other things.
Right. I'm glad you said that. So when it comes to stories, just to kind of give a little more insight,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would like ask that question if I had a favorable, memorable childhood time. Like, I didn't really have the best childhood growing up, so for me, I wouldn't choose to share something from my childhood to get him to share something. I might share something from a trip that I took that was really fun and showed kind of my personality. I went surfing in El Salvador. It was really scary. Went to a third world country. So I might share something like that because it's sporty, athletic. That's what I am. And then
Right.
we can bounce off from there. So make sure you're not sharing from your past. It's painful experiences. It's so easy to bond over the baggage. It really is. It's just so
Yeah, and
easy
that's
because
a
you're
really
like,
good
yeah,
point. That is a
yeah,
really good point.
yeah,
It is keeping it positive, keeping
right,
it, from something that, feels like a good, easy memory to
right,
share about, and, something that really embodies who you are
right,
as a woman,
yeah,
and what you're up to in the world. I
yeah.
think that can be, that's another thing as well.
Yes, very
um,
inspirational things. I think like enthusiasm is so
yeah,
contagious. Like, we're excited right now, and I'm
yeah,
excited to be here with you. I always get excited about the lives. So when you're sharing something that's exciting to you, and it could be anything from a trip to see your mom, from a special recipe you just did, or a new puppy you got, it doesn't matter. That's
yeah.
intimate. You're sharing about your life. So just look for topics that really excite you, because that passion is going to come alive in your conversation. You're going to get animated, excited, and
It's
and then
so
it's going to
true.
create the bridge, the connection, because who doesn't want to jump on that bandwagon? We
Yeah.
want to be around people that are just have
Happy,
energy. Yeah,
happy and
yeah,
inspirational. It's contagious, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you're going, oh, don't, I don't know what I'm excited about, like, find something. I'm sure you've got something in your
Well, I
life.
just went to the gym. Okay. I just did a great workout, and it's not easy going to the gym every day. I'm 58 years old. It's like, why bother? But I'm going for me. And so I go
Mhm.
in there and I just give it my all, and I feel so good. You could just share something like that. Do you work out? What kind of workout do you do? It can be anything. It just needs to be personal, but again, appropriate. Like like, for example, somebody very close to my sister passed away recently. I don't need to share that. It's not really about me. It's about her, and but
Right.
it's on my mind. I'm thinking about what happened to her and my own life and reflecting. That's kind of what inspired me to go see my mother. together. But I'm not sure I'm going to share that part, because that part's a little sad and it could take us down a
Right.
rabbit hole. And we don't want to go there, at least not on a first conversation.
Right, right. And I
Yeah.
think, those are things to keep in mind, not bonding over X baggage, like
Yeah.
if you had, you know, horrible exes, hard things that happen, you
Yeah.
don't want to do that, because that can start, a whole myriad of negativity. And it also puts you in a place of just not starting off from more of a like a trauma bond type place,
Yeah.
rather than
Right.
a open, happy, connected bond. So
Absolutely. And it's
those
so easy to
are
fall into that trap, because it's first of all, it's a familiar conversation. You're feeling those emotions and thinking those
right.
thoughts and talking about those things with your friends. So we forget as women that we're not talking to women, we're talking to a man, and they process much differently. So we need to keep those conversations with our girlfriends, processing, even if we're still
Mhm.
talking about our ex. But when men are looking to see how over him are you, and if you're talking about him more than, we didn't have a good breakup, or we had a good breakup, whatever it is, and I'm hoping that's going to even out down the road, or whatever, that's it. That's all you need to say. It's a couple sentences. Just say it heartfelt,
Yeah.
like, things didn't end well, and I have some regrets around that, but I'm working on it. But that was a couple years ago, and I'm great now. What about you? So you can still
Exactly.
tell the truth
Yeah.
that it didn't end well. You can be honest about it, but no details. You don't have to say because. That don't
Yeah.
get into the becauses,
No oversharing, no oversharing over past baggage. and
Yeah.
and I, and I do think that it's so important to just make sure that you're on that high vibrational conversation. If he starts, we sneak peek into your interview, we shared about your first conversation with your now husband, and
Yep.
how it could have gone down another road, and
Yes.
what
Very
you
much
did
so.
to shift that around, and to
Yeah.
turn that into, it's kind of
Kind of
like lemons into
kind of
lemonade,
a
right?
miracle.
Right.
Yeah. And we just celebrated our 10th anniversary on
Oh,
Tuesday.
yay,
10
yay, I know,
years.
I
I know.
saw
I
it.
made a post on Facebook for all the pictures. We got married on the beach barefoot, and I
Mhm.
put all these posts over the years of us on the beach. And it's just been a wonderful 10 years full of growth. And that's what relationships are. They're growth.
Relationships
You
are
get
growth.
into a relationship for the purpose of your evolution, for your highest evolution. And that's what your
Yeah.
partner is. They're not surrogate parents. They're not a codependent relationship. That's not what relationships are designed for. And we're learning so much more about relationships and how to have a healthy one,
Right.
especially in
And
your event. You're going to hear,
yeah,
ladies, so many great perspectives. And I think it's so important to keep growing when you're single, especially if you came out of a breakup. You
yeah,
have some growing and expanding and forgiving, probably, and staying grounded to do. This event
yeah.
that Cindy has
And
is
I
really a
think
great opportunity.
it's so true. It's so true, Jackie. And I feel like a lot of times we can, especially if we're on the growth journey, and then, maybe we get involved with somebody else and then they're not available either. And we can easily, fall into this feeling bad and negative self-talk, when it's an opportunity to really go, okay, what worked well? What didn't work well?
Right.
Okay, where am I, contributing to this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what am I committed to creating? And where do I want to go? So it's, like you said, to echo your words, Jackie, it's, being in the place of, open-hearted curiosity, and always desiring to learn and grow. And I
Yeah.
believe partnerships, much like you, I feel the same way. It's like they're just our opportunities to grow and evolve and become better versions of ourselves, together and individually. So anyways,
Absolutely.
I could talk to you about this all day long.
All
And
day.
join us on the event if you haven't already signed up. Link is in my bio. We can definitely add a link into the comments here, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe
I
Betsy
don't know,
can.
Addie, can you add the link into the comment box? My assistant's watching. Maybe she can
Oh
add the link
gosh,
and you can
Betsy was
update
on
it
too.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can add that link, that'd be great, Addie. Yes, I'm really excited to watch the other interviews. For me personally, I love the perspective of other coaches because everybody has like their favorite thing to talk about. And I love
Absolutely.
talking about intimacy. I love talking about authenticity, boundaries,
Mhm.
but I don't necessarily, there's other, like you have your own like focus. And I
Yeah.
love getting that perspective. It just helps me grow and evolve and continue to be able to offer, world-class level courses and coaching and all of that. So these events really are so, they're
Same,
so
same,
powerful.
same.
And
They really are. It's
yeah,
powered packed with
yeah.
28 really amazing, conversations. And, I love how you shared to Jackie so vulnerably when we, first started talking. You said, I thought I was deep. And I can relate to that too. Years ago, you're like, oh, I thought I was deep and I was operating from a deep place, but really, you, you know,
I was
you
very
were
shallow.
you were really shallow.
I
And
was. I
I can
was. I didn't
identify with
even
that too.
understand. Yeah. And there's
And
not that I don't feel embarrassed to share that.
yeah,
I want to share that because I want other women to hear that too, because I didn't know what I didn't know. Once I
right,
kind of start to go through some difficult things in life, like a divorce, I
right.
had to dig deeper and I realized that I hadn't really developed a deeper inner world. I didn't have a lot of inner resources. So everything was
Mhm.
looking, I was externally sourcing all my support. And that can only
Right.
go on for so long. It's like therapy. You're never going to get out of that. You have to learn to be your own therapist in a way. And I think that's
Yeah.
why these events are great. You learn
Yeah.
the
And
tools that
there's
coaches
there's
teach you. Yep.
yeah, there's so much inner workings of how we can support ourselves to be to self-soothe um dive
And
even
I'm
deeper.
not talking about wine.
We're not talking about outer resources to
Right.
self-soothe. We're talking about the inner, self-soothing from a different inner working place. And there's
That's right.
so this event is chock full of those resources. So thank you again, Jackie, for being just an anchor and an integral part. I always love talking to you
It's my
and
pleasure, Cindy.
having
Thank you
you
for
as a
including me.
yes, of course. So until next time,
Okay.
you guys
Bye,
and join
everybody. We'll see you guys
us.
in the interviews. Lots of love.
Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.